Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And thank you all for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. So let's get started here. It's May 31st, 2024, right here. We got the loop playing, and we'll just let that play for a second here. Let me get adjusted a little bit better. All right, there we go. Let that loop play for a second and let you basically just the tail end of that event, really. And then right here at the very end is our X flare. Okay, it doesn't look like much, so, but we'll kind of catch this X flare right here. So it's not much. It's this event right here coming off the side. We have either Jupiter or Saturn or something coming into view here. We'll find out later which one that is. But anyways, it's not attacking this thing. It just happens to be a solar flare in that vicinity. And you see it come out there, except for the box that's kind of blocking the little image. That's our X1. Now, as we come back around to the beginning of the day, here we are, opening frame 024 of May 31st, okay? And here's the tail end of this event that we were looking at last night, okay? So, boom, 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 boom. All right, and then that leaves the screen with this other little, we have a little jump in data here from 324 to 417. Watch right here. We have this jump right here where another CME jumps out and latches onto something maybe trailing right there. So, okay, and then not much after that except for our little X1 at the very end, which wasn't much to see because there's all the blocks right here blocking it out. So there is that. Not much to really look at tonight. So coming over here, just zoom in real quick so we can check out our X1.1 here. Okay. Barely touches the line. It's an X1.1, just barely crossed over. And you can see it was very jumpy and bumpy today. All right, a lot of activity. Doesn't look like much on the satellite, but as far as it goes, X-ray flux, we had quite a bumpy day and then finished it off with this X1 right there. Now going into the next day here, we have already some activity going on. And we could go back and take a peek at that if we want, but I'm running out of time. I'm running late, and I wasn't really going to do a show tonight. But the Lord is like adamant. So here we are with our lifted indices here. Okay, we're up at 180 now. It's still kind of climbing. All right, we haven't reached 200 yet, but slowly it's been getting up there. So our solar flux at 179, our indices are a little high there. Our M flare potential has jumped up to 75. Our X flare has jumped from 25 to 35. We did have the X flare, all right. So the percentages are kind of correct. It could be even higher, but meantime, we had the X1. It came out of region 97. Okay. Over here on our geomagnetic forecast, tomorrow we're still due this G2. Okay, so and then after that, nothing. So that's what they're saying on their geomagnetic forecast. That's all subject to change too, as we all know now. Our sunspots, we still got 91 and 97, both beta, gamma, delta. All right, and that's the reasoning for our 35% and our current X flare. A lot of red starting to show up on the screen again. Okay. Coming over here real quick to our KP index. We had that spike the other day right here. But after that, basically not much. Okay, that's good. I'd rather see just a little spike like that and not take on a bunch of energy. All right, and as you can see, our auroras are kind of faint. That's not a very good picture of them. Let's go down and open them up. Can we open this up, please, Lord? Kind of do this. It's a little deceptive on my screen how bright they look. they're kind of dim tonight, so that's good. Our KP is down. We're not taking on a bunch of energy from the sun right now, so that's good. Let's get into this article real quick. An impulsive X1.1 solar flare was detected around 97 at 2303. The quick rising flare will likely not be the source of a noteworthy eruption. However, additional updates will be provided if necessary. This is now the 48th X flare of the current solar cycle 25. Wow. Not 48th flare, 48th X flare of the current solar or 25th solar cycle, leaving us just one behind the total amount of X flares during the entirety of the previous solar cycle 24. Okay, so one more and we'll be even with the entirety of cycle 24. And we've just begun. A quieter day on the sun so far on Thursday with only a single low level M flare detected around 91. This region 91 decayed very slightly during the past 24 hours. Okay, that was yesterday, so we don't need to read that again. Okay, they're still showing this blast right here coming at us. Going to clip us right here a little bit. This one showing a little bit different angle. All right, not even clipping us at all. This one we've already popped open. We'll look at it one more time here. And while we're waiting for this to load up, I just received some good news. That was there was something going on in the background in my real life. Something very disturbing, and finally we got some good news. So thank you for all your prayers out there. You guys, you did a good job. You saved a life. You guys saved a life. Anyways, here we go. Due to clip is right around the first here still, and that's right now. Okay. The midnight of the 31st turning into the 1st is right about now. So we should be getting impact from this here soon. Anytime from here, from this moment forward. So there's that. Okay, now let's back out of this. Yeah, we're done there. Okay, so geomagnetic storm watch continued. NOAA forecasters remain confident that the CME will graze Earth's magnetic field on June 1st. That's right now. It was hurled into space by an X1.4 on the 29th. The glancing blow should cause a G2. Okay, we all know that. Yet another X flare, Sunspot 64, also known as 97, has decayed but is still potent. On May 31st, it emitted another X flare, a 1.1, the third this week. Okay, NASA captured it. And, of course, you can see it right there. All right, radiation from the flare ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere, briefly causing the shortwave radio blackout. Okay, every time you got to remember radiation from the flare ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere. Okay, now everybody's worried about the radio blackout. I'm telling you, radiation hit the top of Earth's atmosphere. There's other side effects besides your radio blackouts. Hit the Pacific side. This is probably our D region. Yep, captured it right there. So you can cut part of the West Coast right here in Alaska. So there's your target zone. And you know me, I'm a stickler for absorption. Even though this is just the flare and not the CME, that's more energy going to the radiation going to the Earth's atmosphere. Not good for our atmosphere. The flare, while intense, was too brief to lift a significant CME out of the sun's atmosphere. Coronagraph images show no solar storm clouds heading for Earth. Okay, now here we go. Finally, we're getting a good. Oh no! Go back to that. There we go. We're getting a good layout of 97 old 64 here. And we're looking at like the two eyes, the nose, mouth thing, but more importantly is the positive, negative, how close they are. This could, even though these are very close, it could jump here to here. It could jump here to here. It could jump from here to here. It could jump from here to there. There are many configurations. The more possible configurations there are, the more volatile it is. All right. So it's not as complex as it was last time, but look down in here. Don't let this slip out of you, being right there or right here, or just there's so many different configurations that, at least it's not as complex as before. Okay, now what makes let's see, the flare, while intense, was too brief. Okay, what makes the decaying sunspot so active? This magnetic map provides the answer. Within the sunspot's primary core, the two oppositely signed magnetic poles, are crowded together. When this happens, magnetic recombination, can cause very powerful explosions, even from a sunspot that's falling apart. NOAA forecasters estimate a 35% chance of X-flare, still 75 for M. Okay. There's our bad boy right there, looking right at you. Everybody pray this thing stays nice and calm while it's facing us. I mean, an X1.1, okay, that's all right, but don't hurl anything too big at us. All right, so there's that article. I'm finally glad they showed us that layout. Okay, back over here to the Schumann. You can see we had nice clear sailing, a little weakness right here, back to clear sailing. A little hit and miss on the grinding right here. There was a little jolt right here where pressure built up. It stopped. It tapered, but it stopped and then built back up, tapered and stopped, built back up, tapered and stopped. So there's 1, 2, 3 little taperings. This almost looks like a small build up right there. So we had a build up of pressure, a couple little relieves, bing, 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 and then back to normal activity. Got a little weak here, but now we're kind of plugging along at our normal Schumann resonance. There we go. It's a little better. And not so bumpy of a ride. Today was a very bumpy ride. Not as far as extreme, but just, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. It's like a kid playing with a light switch. All right, so now that we saw the pressure had built up and then kind of retreated and, relieved, and come over here now to the null school, you can see our upper jet stream here kind of coming in off the Pacific Northwest and just going right across the country and then fanning out northward now. Now it's like fanning out into Canada. See that? So this is a different configuration than it was just the other day. Now let's take you down. Whoops, get positioned over here. Take you down a little bit lower jet stream. Okay, you see the correlation? Just dropping in, going right across the bottom part of the country and then heading out. Now that correlates to your storms right here. It's your storm level. You see moisture coming out of the Gulf, coming right up through here and hitting the coast. Look at this. We were just talking about possible typhoons yesterday in this region. Are you shitting me? And this thing just pops up right now. Wow. Okay. I was talking about we could possibly see some, strong typhoons out of the hot water down here. Could have swore I said that last night, and here we are now with a typhoon or Something growing down there. Hurricane. Oh boy. Now we have this big old storm brewing out here in the Pacific too. A couple of days that's going to come into the Pacific Northwest and cause chaos, more weather. I don't see any other little typhoons or anything. This big old oscillating thing too. All right, so there's your weather. Interesting what's going on here. We just get this pulled up, get the winds going. I want to get down to the surface. Oh, yeah. That's at the surface. It's intense. As we go up, there's your lower jet stream. There's your upper jet stream. There's the transition layer and your polar vortex layer. Okay, if it were still there, I would say that it was being induced by something up above. But this is your polar vortex height, your transition layer, and then your upper your upper jet stream. So this storm is so violent that it's affecting the upper jet stream. There's the lower, and then as we keep going lower, all right, so we have quite the little hurricane, typhoon, whatever they're going to call it, coming off the coast of Mexico here. It might go up the coast, it might go this way. If you look at the wind currents, this looks to get pulled up into there. It's probably going to cross like right in that vicinity maybe as it gets. Oh, and if it does that, if it goes boom and comes up through here, oh dear God. All right, we'll have to watch this closely, because if it gets wrapped around, comes across land and hits this hot water right here, it's going to blossom. And it's not as if we don't have tornadoes going crazy through here. Toss the moisture of a hurricane or a typhoon in with that, it's going to get ugly. Let's pray that this thing stays on this side of the coast and travels out this way or something. Do you see the potential it has to go? Whew, that would not be good. All right, so there's your that's your storm level right there too. So we're having a good healthy storm still going through that region. All right, now I want to come over and check out the particulates. We'll go to the sand. Whoa. All right, so here's our sandstorm kicking sand across the Atlantic. Most of North Africa is still covered. We come over to Saudi Arabia. It's getting inundated now. Up here, all along this area, if I take out the wind, you see the intensity. Look over here at India. It just blossomed. And up here, Gobi, that's the same, but look at India. Look at this. This whole area right here was not there yesterday. Or not as intense like that. We got a lot of sand kicked up over on this side of the planet here. Yeah. We still got this up here too by the Caspian Sea going. There's stuff there, stuff here. Well, you can see where it is. All over there, up through here, coming down over there. We can switch colors real quick. Where's 10 micron? kind of give you an idea. Yeah, look at India just covered. And remember, this is all particulates. This is stuff for potential for water to adhere to and make water droplets. Let's do this SO2. Okay, here we are. America, the country divided. One side bleeding out, the other side a little patchy. Every time. All right, you can see the wind currents have taken all these plumes and just blowing them up this way, up north here. And it does. It looks like the country's just bleeding, doesn't it? And it's running uphill or whatever. We turn that upside down, it would look like it was running down. But we got all our patchy places up here in Canada. A lot of pressure still. About our normal pressure, kind of, that we're used to seeing now. This is not normal, but compared to what we're used to seeing, this is our typical activity. Actually, this little spot creeping north now. It used to just be this little rectangle right there at the North Bay. Now we got another going that way. Yeah, pick your part and take a little look there. And here in Texas, it looks like we got maybe a little flooding in this region, maybe has plugged up some of the holes, or maybe there's just not any in that region. I don't know. Here is more like the flooding. It does more like this effect right here. All right, so some places still have flooding that's plugging up the pores of the skin of the earth. We'll come on over here. Sorry, Hawaii, Oahu still pumping it out. Maui and Hawaii also. Before it was just Oahu, now these other ones have joined in. They come over here to China, adjust for their time. Wow. Well, we on the right day. We are not even on the right day, are we? May 31st. Okay, now go back 8 hours for their daytime. All right, there we go. Yeah, May 31st. Okay, that was during their daytime right there. So, still a lot of intense areas around here. You can tell by the darken of the color which areas are intense. It's also kind of creeping up this way over towards North and South Korea, up into this vicinity up here too. That whole area now has this SO2 coming all the way down, all the way basically down to here. I'll take a little peek at Taiwan here. It's spewing SO2. It's our relief valve. So it's not only having earthquakes, it's having the SO2 emissions, and then look right across from it is a very concentrated spot here at China here. And let's come down to Java, check it out. Basically just this spot, these two little spots right here. The rest of the island, still kind of dark. We've had some pressure still down below that's coming out. Australia has their little spots now. Before, this continent didn't have any, but now it's popping up here and there. Okay, happening all over the world now. So up to May 30th in data. Taiwan here still cool. Okay, it's being its little relief valve doing its job. Meanwhile, we have hot water plume. Is this spot here at Japan has kind of changed. It's not so intense and stuff anymore. It used to be more of a globule there, but now we're seeing more of this effect. Down here at Java, cold water inundation because it's a relief valve. Not a lot of pressure in that region. Hot water off the coast of Africa, down at the southern tip. And then here we have this region right here. What I want to do here, let's kind of position that. Okay, this side over here, this is where our storms, our hurricanes come off the coast here. Let's go back to 2023, and I want you to watch this region. Last year at this time, see, it wasn't as intense. Let's go to 2022. Watch this area right here, 2022. Oh, there was actually cold water out in there. Okay, so now from 2022, watch this area from 2022 to 2024. All right, there's a lot more hot water out there, and we're going to have a very intense hurricane season this year. Something else we need to start talking about too, and Mike's been talking about it a lot, and we will have to address this issue eventually, is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Okay, it comes down through here like a zipper. All right, and it's basically goes right down through the lava. It's the biggest crack in the surface of the planet, and it's spewing nickel, hot nickel from down below. That's like the shavings or whatever that's coming off the core when it's grinding with the shell. That shit's coming all the way up through the magma and coming out of the seam in the earth right there. So let's come on over to our earthquake map here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge right here. Everything comes up out of the ground here and moves left this way and right that way. This is like the one seam that goes right down the whole planet. All right. And for a long time, it's been lava been coming up through this, building mountains. This whole mountain range underneath there is all built from, lava coming out and depositing on the ocean floor, and the more coming out and laying on top of it. This whole crack, I think you guys know, is like the zipper for the planet. And now we have, we have molten nickel coming up from down below, seeping up out of this crack now because of the pressure down below. Okay. Now let's get into our quake. No deep quakes per se in this region right here. What we did have today was a little different activity over here. Please. All right. Back here. 6.2. Originally I heard came in at like 6.7. There's a 5.2, 5.1, and all. This one's a little shallower, but they're down about 30. This was 35 and 32. So there's some not deep quake, but sub-shallow quake with a decent size 6 right there. Then coming into the system, very opening of the system right there. 5 point at the perfect. 5.0 at the surface, relieving energy right at the very entrance to the system right there. And let me plug this phone back in so I'm having here. All right. So, getting back into it, this 5.0 at the surface, energy being relieved right there at the very opening door of the system. What's this? Another 5.0, but down at 124. We're coming up into here, 4.6 at the surface. Another 4.6, but down a little lower. Our new quake right over off past Java here, a 4.8 down at 106 here. Then as we kind of creep up this side of the system, we got a 4.7 down at 67, a 5 down at 17 right there, and then our relief valve here at our fulcrum point at Taiwan here is a 5.2 and a 4.5. Awesome. All right, mid-range 4 and a 5 right there, relieving energy at your fulcrum point, doing its job. Even more pressure further up, 5.2 at the surface. Hitting Japan with the 4.7 down at 45. Come back, check this one real quick, a 4.8 at 113. Then look up here where all our hot water was coming out up here. 4.2 down at 49 and also 4.5. So that's a lot of activity for that area. In the last few days, we haven't seen anything for a while in that area. Look up here where we have 4 volcanoes relieving pressure. We've also have 2 earthquakes, a 4.1 down at 31 and a 4.4. So there must have been quite a bit of pressure down below to cause earthquakes where we have 4 volcanoes already doing venting, to have 2 more quakes right here where we have all that hot water release, to have this, good size 5 right there at the fulcrum point. So, and this. Then we come back down. We had all that energy here. So there was a good boost of pressure, a good boost of the number of quakes and magnitude. So an increase in the number and an increase in magnitude. Here's a 5.6. That's a stronger quake for this region. Followed with 4.4 at the surface right there. Then was that it? No, down here. Excuse me. Our big quake of the day is this one right here, 6.2, Prince Edward Island. That's the one I think came in as a 6.7, but there should have been another quake hiding around there. They may have taken it down or whatever if it was old. Maybe it's this one. Well, anyways, we've had a couple of 6s that are been way undercut. All right, 6.3, 6.4, maybe a 6.5. All right, so an uptick in magnitude right there. Okay, what's this here at the South Sandwich Islands? This is a 5.6 down at 53. We're used to seeing mid-range 4 there. So an uptick in magnitude there. Now, looky here. We have an earthquake on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a 5.0 at the surface. This is probably where we're seeing some of the nickel release, okay? Because this is at the surface. It's a 5. In fact, where are we here? We are right. Oh, the cold water spot, huh? Right here. I think. Looks like it's right about there in that cold water spot. I'll have to watch that closely. I thought it might be a little hot spot out there, but it was quite the opposite. Good, I'm wrong. Yay, sometimes I'm wrong. Okay? We're all wrong sometimes, so it's good to learn how to admit it. Also, look at this up here. There's usually cold water up here. This is Norway and Iceland, the North Atlantic. I mean, we're talking Greenland and the Arctic Circle up here, and we have all this hot water coming off the coast of Norway and Sweden here. So, All right, back to this though. Back to the quake. All right, so I think we had wrapped it up. So a lot of bigger quakes, or more quakes and more higher magnitude. And looky here, Mid-Atlantic Ridge north of Iceland is a 4.4 at the surface. Let's go check the temperature there, shall we? Well, it's probably right up in that gold spot, too. Right in there. Probably right this little junction right there, it looked like. Anyway, kind of interesting. Just want to see that. See if there were some correlations there yet. And we didn't do California or this part yet. Sorry. Cocos Plate really quick. 4.5. We have 4.2 there and a 4.5 there. All right, let's come back up to America. Pop it on all magnitude. You're done. Okay, so recent quake right here is 3.2. Because, see, we had this energy come up here. I'm wondering if anything made it over. Biggest I see is our recent, this one right here is our recent one. A lot of micro quaking going on. 2.1. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything kind of made it over yet. But we do still have a 2.6 here. Okay. That's not on the boundary, though. Ooh. That's even shallower at 4.9. Okay, good. The geysers is back to operation here, where it's venting a lot of microquakes. Good. I'm going down. Look, here we are in the Bay Area again in this zone, this fault line that runs parallel with the San Andreas here. Nothing too big, a 1.2, and up here's a 1.9. Nobody felt anything, but it's just an indication that there's movement along these fault systems that run parallel with the San Andreas here, which is fine. They're releasing energy. It's good that they release energy in this form instead of doing nothing for a long time and then snapping with the big one. Now, this region down here, I've been watching from my house. Make sure there's no more activity down there. Okay, good. You want to come down here. Do we have a good spot down here? 2.2s. What's this little guy? I'm looking for like a region that's having a quake swarm or like a little microquake flurry area. We used to have a little spot right around here that would, quake out with the little microquakes. 3.6 here. All right, pretty quiet though. That's good. Looking over here, our typical activity in Texas, up there in Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma as well, I believe. Yeah. And then nothing up here in New York or the New Madrid, so that's kind of good. Oh, yeah. Here's Mount Rainier with just a little microquake, but a little 0.3. But here's a few of them at Mount St. Helens here. They're microquakes, but they're all right here at the summit. Okay, so a little bit of activity going on down below Mount St. Helens, giving a little earthquake swarm right at the pinnacle of it. So we'll have to watch Mount St. Helens a little bit, everybody. Okay. There's probably Mount Hood, but that's nothing. All right, that's good enough. What's out here? It's still activity in Idaho and a little bit in Utah. But all in all, that's a pretty quiet pretty quiet West Coast and United States of America compared to the rest of the map. The rest of the map is very busy. Not very busy, but busier with more quakes and larger magnitude. Okay, so there's all that. Let me go ahead and get into the volcano report here. I got to pull one up and get rid of some of this other stuff. Yeah, I better not see. Due to sensitive nature of the records, you may find. Please review and agree to the statement below. Here's a big old zonal map for Iceland now because of the new fountain that's going off. You can come over here and check out their zones and their hazard map and everything. But Reykjanes is, venting a lot of energy for us. And hazard assessment zones 1, 5, and 7 have been downgraded. Okay, good. Effusive eruption remains stable over the past 24 hours. The eruptive fissure stretches to the north of the previous main spatter cone. All right, so still kind of going. Sakurajima, 7,000 feet. Ibu, 20,000 feet. What? That's a pretty tall blast out of Ibu. Luatobi, 6,000. Semeru, blasting its maximum, 15. Dempo, our new one on the board, 11,000 feet. So, yeah, Dempo, our new one, pumping to 11,000. Santa Guido is still imaginary. No, there's no imagery. Fuego, nothing. Sangay, 19. Sabancaya, 27 now. Sabancaya is usually like 24 or 22. So 27 out of that. And that was for the 1st of June. Now going back to what was today, and it's now yesterday. Oh, come on here. This map's got a lot of red on it, too. Okay, Stromboli, an overwhelming video of the ongoing activity. Ooh. Hang on. We might come back for that video. Let me get the rest of this report in. Here's Reykjanes. The latest Sentinel 5P satellite image from the May 30th detected SO2 concentrations. Ow, excuse me. Can I speak, Lord, please? Are you done? Okay, back to this. May 30th, SO2 detected concentrations released for the ongoing effusive eruptions. Hey, we're always looking at SO2, aren't we? Oh, yeah. Cool. What a report. A bunch of little pictures. All right. The eruption continues. Spattering is now limited to a cluster of about 6 eruptive vents within the fissure. Okay, Ebico, 10,000 feet out of Ebico. Wow. 18,000 out of Ibu here. Luatobi, 7,000. Here's Merapi on Java. The extrusive eruption at the volcano persists at around 5:31 local time early this morning. A hot avalanche known as a pyroclastic flow detached from the active southwestern lava dome to the summit crater. Semeru, 15. Merapi on the island of Sumatra, 20,000 out of Merapi. Wow. Dempo again, 300 meters to 500 meters. Ducono, 8,000. Popocatépetl, no VA. Santa Guido, 15. Fuego, 15. Sangay, 19. Reventador. Sabancaya, 27. White Island, Antarctica. Don't forget about Antarctica. All right. Okay, good enough. Okay. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I haven't had much sleep in 3 days. I'll explain a little bit. Barren Island, these are all ones that are currently erupting, ones that are could go act or that are semi-active. Watch Concepcion. I always say that. Watch Etna. I do that to jinx it so it doesn't go off. No, I'm joking that. But watch these because Italy's having a lot of activity lately. So watch Etna. Don't forget Krakatau's always. All of these are constantly erupting. Here's this new one, Carency. Watch out, that one could pop over. We get more pressure. Mayong is one that hops back and forth a lot. Same with Nevada del Ruiz. And even though I go through this list saying I have places like Purase or Rayung or like Ruang, it'll probably be some obscure, unknown, unheard of volcano that goes. So, but in case it's not, there's all these that are semi-active as well. We got a lot of activity on that whole page right there. Okay, so there's your volcano report. Let's get to the weather forecast and let that load up real quick while I get some of these other instruments done. Okay. Let this loop go around and we'll catch it on the flip side. We'll go do our report real quick. Okay, so right now, this is our current time, nighttime of the 31st. Still pop up, severe activity all over Texas, back up in here through these states. Now, as we go into the morning hours of the 1st, noon, convection, nighttime. So possibility for pop-ups back here, these discrete supercells back through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, up into Nebraska. And if it's not right along there, it could be, shifted just a tad bit. But that's the nighttime tomorrow. Then we go into the morning of the 2nd, noon. This storm comes in at the Pacific Northwest on the 2nd. By noon, it's gone further inland. Here's convection, so there'll be some severe weather along the coastline at convection up here in Canada, back trailing along this. No telling. You got to watch that carefully, or even in here. It's hard to tell these days. There's the nighttime now. So just back up a little bit. There's noon, convection, nighttime. This will get probably very dicey. Okay, so, and back in here too. Okay, even though we get severe weather here in the plains, it can still happen in these regions back in here. So don't think that you're exempt from severe weather. That's the nighttime of the 2nd, morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. 7, noon, convection, nighttime. You guys watching this big old thing just spin over the country. That'd be the nighttime of the 7th. A little bit back here in this tail here, watch out for, even stuff up in there. Morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 10th. No, morning of the 9th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection, nighttime. Wow. This we'll have to watch out around the nighttime of the 10th. We'll continue to watch that. But look how this thing is all wrapped up. Just almost looks like a bodybuilder flexing his muscles. He's got his fist out and he's curling his arm. Well, they're not muscles, but they're kind of just looks like an arm that's flexed like that. And that'll be the night time of June, morning of the 11th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime, 13, convection, nighttime, 14, noon, convection, nighttime, 15, convection, nighttime of the 15th, 16th, noon, convection, nighttime. And that's all she wrote. All right, so just watch here as this whole storm just starts to rotate over the country right there. Wow. Yeah, so everybody, like I said, your weather is very important to keep an eye on your weather daily. Before you go out the door, check your weather report for where you're going or where you're going to be during the course of the day. Are you expecting afternoon thunderstorms or what? Take a peek outside. Say if you work and you get a break, take a peek at the sky, evaluate it. Learn how to read your own clouds and evaluate your own weather a little bit. It helps. Any little bit of learning kind of helps in case these tools go down or there's no internet or something to rely on a storm chaser or radar app to find out. You should be able to look at your own skies and see black clouds and understand what convection means, and that at the sundown all that moisture is going to come crashing down, and how weather kind of works. Okay. All right. I don't really have much energy tonight to get into the spiritual report, but we're going to do one anyway. I really don't like to put my personal life out there too much, but for the past few days, my ex-wife, or the mother of my children, has been missing and feared dead for the last few days, and our family has been in a lot of praying, a lot of foundation work, right? And good news is she was found alive today and is recovering. Some of the things, we're still finding out some details of what had happened, possibly kidnapped. So, yeah, she's been through a lot of trauma, and we're just thankful that she's alive. Okay, and even though she's my ex-wife, I still love her to death. She's still the mother of my children, and I wouldn't want to see anything happen to her. Okay, so for the last few days, our family has been in agony. We've all been praying for her safe return, and prayers were answered. And when it's in a situation where it's life and death and prayers are answered, you really appreciate answered prayer. Okay? And I'm exhausted. I've not had much sleep for the last 3 days or food to eat. It's been a bumpy road. But thank God I had this to kind of keep me sane through it. That's the only thing that kept me sane. These shows, this, and you guys, my family here, what kept me strong. We got to lean on each other sometimes, right? So you can lean on me. We lean on each other. We give support to each other, and even though she's my ex or whatever, I still can't wait to wrap my arms around her and give her a hug. Just because she divorced me doesn't mean I don't love her still. So, let's get, where was I going tonight? I cut so much and I don't have a, Lord help me, Um, okay, so right here. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths. Relax. I'm not going to pull up a bunch of images tonight. I'm just sticking with this one. We're going to do a quick reading and then I have to move on. So while you're looking at that and you're listening to my voice, walk with me in the freedom of forgiveness. The path we follow together is sometimes steep and slippery. If you carry a burden of guilt on your back, you are more likely to stumble and fall. At your request, I will remove the heavy load from you and bury it at the foot of the cross. When I unburden you, you are undeniably free. So stand up straight and tall in my presence so that no one can place more burdens on your back. Look into my face and feel the warmth of my love light shining upon you. It is this unconditional love that frees you from both fears and sins. Spend time basking in the light of my presence. As you come to know me more and more intimately, you grow increasingly free. Live first and foremost in my presence, and gradually you will become more aware of me than of the people and the places around you. Okay, so when you strive to live first and foremost in my presence, you will become more aware of me than the people and the places around you. Okay, pretty soon the people and the places around you become almost dull and you become more aware of me than the people and the places. When you get there, this awareness will not detract you from your relationships with the others, though. Okay, so when you're more aware of me than the other people, it doesn't detract from your relationships with them. Instead, it will increase your ability to give love and encouragement to them. Okay, so more awareness of me than other people will not detract from the relationship. It will increase your ability to give love and encouragement in that relationship. Do you see what I mean? My peace will permeate your words and your demeanor. Okay, that's what works, is my peace coming out of you. My peace will permeate what? Your words and your demeanor. Your words and your demeanor are going to be love and encouragement. So, my peace will permeate your words and your demeanor. You will be active in the world, yet one step removed from it still. Do you see how that works? Isn't this awesome? Again, it's very intricate. So, awareness of other people, awareness of my presence over other people does not detract from that relationship. It enhances it. It gives you the ability to love and encourage, to give them love and encouragement. And then that peace permeates through your words and your demeanor. And when that peace is coming out of your words and your demeanor, you are actively, you're active in the world. When you're doing that, you are being active in the word. You're practicing what I've been trying to get you to do here. My peace has permeated your words. It's permeated your demeanor, and the way you talk and act to other people now will help them, and you will still be one step removed from it. You will not be easily shaken. Okay, that's how you're not easily shaken, when you've got one foot removed, one foot in the spiritual realm and one in the physical. Okay? And you're active. Your words and your actions are love and encouragement. You are being active. Okay? And when you're active, you're not shaken. You won't be easily shaken. Easily shaken. You could still be shaken, okay, but not easily. You'll have much more firm standing. You got a good foundation that when you're shaking, your foundation's solid. It won't crumble underneath you. And how, I mean, this is hot off the street. This is stuff I had to do for the last 3 days to keep my sanity. So, if my peace permeates your words and your demeanor, and you're active in this world, and you are one step removed from it, you got one in the spiritual, one in the physical, you will not be easily shaken. You might still be shaken a little bit, but it won't be easily. And you got a firm foundation. If you're shaking a little bit, just step back, put your foot back on the foundation, and you're not shaking anymore. So you will not be easily shaken because my enveloping presence buffers the blow of the problem. Because my presence buffers the blow of the problem. When you can do that, this is the path that I have set before you. And as you follow it wholeheartedly, you start to experience abundant life and real peace. But you got to practice it. It sounds easy, hard to do, but just persistence, progress, not perfection. You will be active in the world. You already are. Why don't you step back and look and see how you are already active? My presence has given you love and encouragement. It has permeated your words and demeanor, and now you're not easily shaken. And my presence buffers the blows of the problems. When you've reached that part, you're now on the path I've set before you, and you experience life, abundant life, and real lasting peace. Oh man, there's so much more to this lesson than I thought. Okay, let's just keep going. Oh, sorry, picture died there. Sorry, I'm looking down, reading while I'm trying to. All right, hang in there. We're getting there. Now, it's going to be hard, but it's so important. It's important to pour all of your energy into trusting me. It's through trust that you stay connected to me, aware of my presence. Every step on your life journey can be a step of faith. Baby steps of trust are simple for you. You can take them with almost unconscious ease. Giant steps of trust are another matter altogether. Leaping across chasms of semi-darkness, scaling cliffs of uncertainty, and trudging through the valley of the shadow of death. These feats require sheer concentration as well as utter commitment to me. Sheer concentration and utter commitment while you trudge through the valley of the shadow of death. Leaping across chasms of darkness, scaling cliffs of uncertainty. These feats that you're doing require concentration and commitment. Each of my children is a unique blend of temperament, giftedness, and life experience. That's another one that's so important that you guys got to get in there, get in your head, quit comparing yourself to others. Each of my children is a unique blend of temperament, giftedness, and experience, life experience. Okay? Something that is a baby step for you may be a giant step for another person, and vice versa. So only I know the difficulty or ease of each segment of your journey. So beware of trying to impress others by acting as if your giant steps are only baby ones, and do not judge others who hesitate in trembling fear before an act that would be easy for you. Okay? You see somebody else who's trembling in fear and hesitating to jump off the diving board, and you're like, dude, I've done it 100 times. It's fun. What are you talking about? How could you be scared? Don't judge others who hesitate or in trembling fear, because what might seem easy to you is hard for them, but they could do something that's hard for you. It's easy for them. Everybody's a unique blend of temperament, giftedness, and life experience. Don't judge others. What else? If each of my children would seek to please me above all else, fear of others' judgments would vanish. Did you know that? Did you know if you seek to please me above all else, fear of others' judgments vanishes, as would attempts to impress others? So focus your attention on the path just ahead of you and on the one who never leaves your side. And that's going to be where we're going to close tonight. I got one more here. We'll close with this one. So hopefully you guys are scaling cliffs of uncertainty, and you're leaping across chasms of semi-darkness, little life journey of baby steps of faith. And then when you've achieved a lot of these things, you can trudge through the valley of the shadow of death. As long as you're concentrating and committed. So come to me and listen. Attune yourself to my voice and receive my richest blessings. Marvel at the wonder of communing with the creator of the universe while sitting in the comfort of your own home. Kings who reign on earth tend to make themselves inaccessible. Ordinary people must also almost never gain audience with these people. Like your kings, your leaders, they're inaccessible. Even dignitaries must plow through red tape and protocol in order to speak with royalty. Though I am king of the universe, I am totally accessible to you. Not to them, to you. Even in replay. I am with you wherever you are. And this is where you guys should feel good, that nothing can separate you from my presence. When I cried out from the cross, "It is finished," the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. This opened the way for you to meet me face to face with no need of protocol or priests. I, the King of Kings, am your constant companion. And I am accessible, unlike your other so-called leaders. I got a little bit more for you, actually. Yeah, go? Okay, go, God, I'll go. So, relax in my everlasting arms. Your weakness is an opportunity to grow strong in awareness of my presence. And when your energy fails you, do not look inward and lament at the lack you find. Look to me and my sufficiency. Rejoice in my radiant riches that are abundantly available to help you. Go gently through each day, leaning on me and enjoying my presence. Ooh, enjoying my presence? Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to lean on me and enjoy my presence. Thank me for your neediness, which is the building trust bonds between us. How are we going to build these bonds of trust if you don't have neediness and I don't supply your needs? There's no way of building trust without that process. You're going to need something and I supply it, and there's the trust. Okay? And it's your neediness that it's perfect. We fit together. So thank me for your neediness, which is building trust bonds between us. If you look back on your journey thus far, you can see that days of extreme weakness have been some of your most precious times, haven't they? Stop here for a second. Look back on your journey thus far. You can see the days of extreme weakness have actually been some of your most precious times that you actually endured and learned. You grew. Memories of these days are richly interwoven with golden strands of my intimate presence. And we'll close with this. So open your mind and heart, your entire being, to receive my love in full measure. I repeat, open your mind and heart, your entire being, to receive my love in full measure. Because many of my children limp through their lives starved for love because they haven't learned the art of receiving it. This is essentially an act of faith, believing that I love you with boundless, everlasting love. The art of receiving is also a discipline, training your mind to trust me and coming close to me with confidence. Ooh, not with fear, trepidation, with confidence. Why would you fear be trepidatious to your best friend? Right? You know, your best buddy, your best pal. You're like to throw your arms around him. You're not trepidatious. Okay, so the art of receiving is a discipline. It's training your mind to trust me and coming close to me with confidence now. Remember that the evil one is the father of lies. So learn to recognize his deceptive intrusions into your thoughts. Okay? When I'm sitting here wondering where my ex-wife is, 3 days, all of these crazy thoughts go through your head, right? And was she lie? Well, what's this? What's that? Well, the evil one is the father of lies. And you got to learn to recognize the deceptive intrusions into your thoughts. Ooh, it's not like being possessed. The deceptive intrusions are into your thoughts. One of the favorite deceptions is to undermine your confidence in my unconditional love. So you got to fight back against these lies. Don't let them go unchallenged. Resist the devil in my name, and he will slink away from you. Draw near to me, and my presence will envelop you in love. Okay? Open your mind and heart, your entire being, to receive my love in full measure. Draw near to me, and my presence will envelop you in that love. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Yeah, that's about all I got for you for tonight. Actually read a couple others that I wasn't really planning, so that's it for tonight. You guys, I love you all. Thank you for your prayers. uh, Boy, you guys are awesome. I didn't even really tell you what was going on in my life, and some of your guys' prayers really important. Okay, you're 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 saving lives, really. You don't know it, but your prayers are saving people, and I thank you for all your prayers. Um, Good news is she's alive, and kids will breathe a sigh of relief. Our whole family has breathed a sigh of relief, and just very good lesson to learn here to appreciate your loved ones. Appreciate people while they're still around before they're gone. It's not until you lose something that you appreciate it or something. So a good reminder to go hug your kids, go hug your wife, go hug your loved ones, and appreciate them. That they're still here, and that you still got them around. So that's it for tonight. I gotta go, y'all. I got more to do still. My day is not done yet. I still got more. So I love you all. I miss you all. Thank you all for your prayers. God bless you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and I am still to come. Bye.